guys, welcome to this month's Swings and Roundabouts. I just want to welcome you all personally to this one tonight, which is a really, really exciting one for me. It's SWOT analysis. So I've been asked for a little while now about how to increase profits and margins and all that. So I've come up with this one because I think it's very important for a lot of parts in your business, especially around, understanding your business a little bit more. So, before I get started, I just want to ask you a question, right? Does everybody know what a SWOT analysis is? If you just want to put in the chat, if you've never heard it before, or if you've, you do it in your business or you understand it. So, Linda says yes. Yep, Sharon says yes. Gilly. So a lot of yeses out there. Yep. Stacey said, but haven't actioned it, which brings me to another question. When was the last time you did a SWOT analysis in your business? When did you really look at your business and look down? Was it in the last 3 months, 6 months, over 12 months? Just give me an idea of when you did a SWOT analysis last, or just a little bit of analysis for your business. Linda, last 3 months, great. Probably not for a couple of years, Sharon, yeah, which I hear a lot, mind you. It's a common thing out there. Amy, not yet. Yeah, more than 8 years, Kenneth. Wow, geez. Okay, so I am asking a lot of people. Gilly said ages ago, can't even remember how long. I'm asking that question a lot to a lot of my clients and people around me now, and I get the same sort of answer. No, I haven't done one for a long time. I should be doing one, the whole lot. So before I get into this particular lesson, I just want to sort of emphasize the importance of doing a SWOT analysis. As you probably realize, in the last couple of years, there's been a lot of changes with the pandemic, a lot of uncertainty out there. People's buying habits have changed. How we gather information has changed. A lot of opportunities have come up that have gone past people's sort of eyes without them taking action. So it's really, really important to have, this sort of strategy or this action in your business consistently. So I really recommend that within every 6 months, you should do a little bit of SWOT analysis. So if you don't know, I'll just give you a little bit of an oversight of what a SWOT analysis is and why it's so important for your business to have it regularly be done. So SWOT analysis is just an acronym and it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, it is a strategic planning tool that all businesses and organisations need to regularly access their internal and external environment, right? And I say environment because, as you would have expected, all right, there's a lot of things happening in the environment going forward, especially around, as I said, your prospects and your clients' buying habits. So if you're doing a lot of marketing now and you're not getting some good return on your investment, it's probably because you're not, communicating or having that compelling message, because your target market might have changed the way that they're buying or as I said, gathering the information from you. So, I would encourage you to actually put it in part of your, monthly or yearly plan. So, I normally do it at the start of the year and probably the middle of the year. Okay, the financials side. So, just identifying certain aspects. So, there is some steps, there is some general steps that you should look at when you're looking at a SWOT analysis. The biggest thing is you just need to have an objective for why you're doing a SWOT analysis, right? Biggest thing is, what's your objective? So when we're talking about at the moment, the cost of living, a few of the, supply chains and the issues we're having in there, right? The objective at the moment might be, well, okay, I want to know how particular the buying habits of my targets have changed. What opportunities are out there that I can pivot or change my business to really take advantage of those out there. So you just got to have some sort of objective of finding that SWOT analysis coming through. So, it could be just, an overall performance of your business where you're at the moment. You might have been in business for a long period of time, right? And you might just need to analyze where you're at, what you're doing is still relative to your market out there. You might need to evaluate new products or services that you've introduced in there, right? See how your competition, resonates with that, or, how differentiation you are against your competition, all those kinds of things. But you just need to define the objective, right? Biggest thing before you start, because then you'll get the best sort of impact from it. The next thing is you need to gather as much information as possible when you're filling out the SWOT analysis. So when you're looking at your strengths, just think about what you've gained in your strengths in the last 12 months, or the last 6 months. What have you learned? What new skills have you got in there? When you're looking at weaknesses, look at the environment, what's changed around the environment. So, for me, I'm not very high. I'm very old school, not very good at digital marketing and online marketing, right? It is a weakness of mine, right? But I have a look at, I've just done a SWOT analysis in my own business, and I've looked at how AI, new technology can help in that. Okay, so those kinds of things really, really come front of mind when you start doing this. So when you're looking at your weaknesses, right, think of the environment, think what's changed and how it's going to affect not only you, but your business as well. You can use SWOT analysis to identify like your strengths and weaknesses, but then you can also look at the opportunities. Opportunities come past us every day. We just don't take advantage of them. So think about, what you do in business, and the opportunities out there. If you don't see them, or you're not really addressing them, your competition will pick them up very, very quickly. Okay, and last is the threats. Okay, threats are really, really important, because every day we get some sort of threat that impacts our business. So the biggest threat at the moment, right, which I'm talking to a lot of my clients about, right, is the scamming, the security, the safety of your prospects when they're buying or using your product or service. Okay, so what we've got to try and do, and I've just done a SWOT analysis with one of my clients, and what's come out of that is that they've looked at their online e-commerce store, and they've changed a few of the wording in there to emphasize, to reduce the risk factor for somebody buying from them. Okay, and what's happened is that their conversion rates have gone massively up just by changing the language on their website or their landing page. That's just reducing that risk factor, right, when somebody buys. So, when you do this, just put yourself in somebody's shoes, preferably your prospect shoes, and say, well, what's the threat, right, of somebody buying my product or service? Am I addressing that in my communication? So why am I telling you this? Is because SWOT analysis can identify a lot in your business that will really, really grow it, right? And really you can excel, and you can start dominating what you do in your industry and your business. The other thing I do with this SWOT analysis is just analyze it for really key focus areas to develop for the next 3 to 6 months. So if you do identify something in your SWOT analysis that really stands out, it then becomes an action plan or a to-do list to really implement into your business going forward. So you can, from your SWOT analysis, you can really develop a good action plan, right, going forward. I get, people come and say, yeah, look, I don't know what I should be doing in my business. I don't know how to do it, the whole lot. You need to start off with a plan, right? So, it might be your objective for a SWOT analysis, leaving this particular sort of session today is, I'm going to do a SWOT analysis. My main objective is to understand, my strengths, my weaknesses, what opportunities out there and threats. And then I'm going to put an action plan together so I can then start implementing it into my business. Does that sound pretty much where, comfortable for people to do? Just pop in the chat box, do you think that's really, really easy to do and make part of your business going forward? I know, I get a lot of people come back and say, I'm too, busy to do this, but it's really the 80-20 rule. It's 20% of what you're doing in your business will generate 80% of your results. And I think, planning and, doing action plans are really, really important to build your business further. So, yeah, Kenneth, yes, indeed. I know you haven't done one for a while, so I think you're probably thinking of doing one right now and seeing, because obviously in the last 8 years, environment and a lot's changed. So out there. So I'm getting a lot of yeses. Paul, could you clarify the difference between weakness and threats? Well, weakness I would be looking at is your internal weaknesses. So things like, like for myself, I know that I'm not good at digital marketing. I've been running my business for a long period of time. When I first started my coaching business, there wasn't, the internet was just new. There was no Facebook. There was no online marketing, nothing like that. Where we marketed was around email and direct mail, pretty much. So I've grown up my business has been grown up in trying to learn these new things coming forward. So I've always put it in the weakness side, because my mentor once said to me is that it's great to identify your weakness, but it will never be a strength, right? You can get better at your weaknesses, but it will never be a strength. So what I do is I identify my weaknesses, and what I do with that is I look at outsourcing that to somebody that has that strength around it. Okay. So, when we look at threats, right? Threats is things like, the pandemic we never really anticipate would come, and we never anticipated the impact it would have on businesses. But when we look at that and we still go forward, we can then look at what's the threats of my business, right, from the pandemic. So I've got a few retail stores, bricks and mortars clients on board. And they've been running for a fair while, long years, right? They've been doing really, really well. When the pandemic came and shutdowns and all that, they were forced to start selling online, just shifting that a little bit, which became a weakness for them, but it became a threat, because what they realized is that their clients then were buying a lot more online. They were forced to buy online. So it was a threat to them if they didn't understand how to put their products online to sell. And eventually, if they didn't take that little bit of the sort of flexibility in their business and change their model, they would have gone broke. Right, as simple as that. So, weaknesses and threats could overlap a little bit, but threats I would be looking at environmental things. So there's a couple of tools that I'm going to put on the website. One of them is this little bit of a spreadsheet. Okay, so you can then start looking at your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Strengths and weaknesses are normally your internal stuff, okay? And your weaknesses, your opportunities and your threats are external. So there is another one that I'll just see if I can find for you, which might give you a little bit more of a idea. Okay, so just bring this one up. Okay. And let me share this. So I'll share this on the Facebook page as well. Okay. So it really just looks like when you're looking for your strengths and weaknesses, it could be like where you're positioning yourself in the market, what your marketing is, your purchasing process, so your delivery process, all those kinds of things you can actually look at from a little bit of a point of view. Not all of them will be relevant, but I'm just trying to give you a few ideas to focus on coming forward. When we're looking at threats and opportunities, these factors are external environments of your business. So it's things that sometimes are outside your control that you can't control, but you need to pivot in your business to do it. So, things like when the interest rates go up, right? We know that spending slows a little bit until people feel comfortable in actually, with what's happening, and then they start buying again, right? We're feeling more comfortable, right? When, we suddenly turn the TV on, interest rates go up again. People sort of step back a little bit and start looking at their pennies and their dollars, and that's it. But they probably pivot a lot quicker now to go back and start spending again. But it is still a threat for a lot of businesses out there when the media out there puts the scare tactics out there for the cost of living and things like that. We're really driven by media content. right? So as business owners, we need to be aware of how that's going to be affecting our business. So I think, you know, I mean, it's, as I said, it's really, really important to do this because environments change a lot quicker than they have years ago. When I first started opening my business, I would, you know, if there was something that would really affect my business, I had a few weeks, even a month to start putting things in place so it wouldn't have a massive impact on my business. These days, when something happens today, it's affecting your business tomorrow. So you've got to really, really be on that back foot all the time to start putting things in your business to overcome that. Right. And one of the big best tools is the SWOT analysis, right? From it. So yeah. So questions, right? How do you know, I mean, what do you think, Trinity? Do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think it's making a lot of sense. I really appreciated that explanation. A great question from Stacey there on the difference between your weaknesses and your threats there.
Yeah.
You touched on something that I'd love to hear a little bit more earlier, Paul, about how you can actually recognize those threats from what your customer is talking about, or what hesitations they might have about purchasing or engaging your product. I'd love to hear a little bit more about that too.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I regularly poll and get a lot of feedback from my clients and my prospective customers of certain aspects. So when you know, for instance, there's a lot of technology, a lot of AI coming into our world every day. Okay. And you know, people are really getting on board on that. So I've just done a complete feedback form to all of my clients and asking them what's changed in their buying habits. Okay, so and obviously the biggest things that come out is, well, I'm buying a lot more online now. I feel a lot more comfortable buying my products online, because prior to COVID, right, there was a lot of, especially the aged generation was still a little bit skeptical about buying online. Now what's happened is that you know, they've obviously feel they've been forced to do it, so they've felt comfortable in doing it. But more than anything, what's coming out is that it's getting, because you know, there's a lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of people ripping people off. Right, it's at the top of people's minds at the moment going forward. Right, you know, putting stuff online. How good is my data being secured when I put it online? All that kind of stuff. So, you know, when we're doing this, these are the things that, you know, we anticipate. Okay, but sometimes there might be other things that we don't know. So go out to the network. Ask the questions. You know, Facebook is a really, really good forum to do that, where you can actually start getting a poll together, asking questions to your network on certain aspects, getting that back, looking at your business and see if you can sort of be a bit flexible around that. As I said before, security and safety is at the top of the list for a lot of people these days. Okay, so I've got a 24-hour dentist on board. Okay, he's only just gone 24 hours emergency service because there's no one else in the area that's actually open 24/7. Okay, so he's done that, one of my clients, and he said, look, I mean, it's great, blah, you know, really, really good. And I said, what about security and safety? And he said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, you're in a complex where there's you know, a car park, but the car park is not lit after 8 o'clock at night. All the lights go off. Okay, right, and you know, no other sort of business in the complex is open as well, right? So I said, as a consumer, if I came to your dentist, I'd be really worried walking you know, in a dark car park, you know. And he said, never even thought about that, you know. So he didn't even think about it as a business owner, right? But as a consumer, I put that forward as a you know, a little bit of a concern for me. Right, which brought it forward. So he's now installing, you know, lights, after hour lights, and, you know, censored lights. He's also putting cameras in as well. So you probably see now that you're walking into a lot of stores, right, that have screens up when you walk in, right, and you can see yourself on a screen. Okay, 2 reasons for that. One is that they're trying to cut back on the shoplifting, right, which has gone through the roof these days. But it's also about security and safety. If you see yourself on there, you know that if anything happens or whatever, it's been recorded. Okay, it just gives you that little bit of peace of mind. So, I mean, I would be going out to your prospects, I'd be going out to your clients and asking the questions, what's changed? What do you know, I mean, what around security and safety, but also the other aspects as well. What new products do you want? What other, services do you need? I ask this question to my clients all the time, I mean, what new programs would you like to see me being delivered? What topics would you like me to be presenting? Those kinds of things. So I revolve my whole business around what the needs and wants and the gaps are out there. So when I do a SWOT analysis, these are the things that I look at. As I said before, research is really, really important when you're doing a SWOT analysis, because then you can get the best feedback to put in there to get that that little bit of a plan and action done. So does that make sense to everybody? Any other questions or anything about a SWOT analysis? As I said, I'll put these templates on the Facebook group so you can download them. Right, there is a lot of resources out there to help you through to get a SWOT analysis done. But the main thing is, as I said, is put it into practice. Get some, make some time to sit down and really, really concentrate on doing it well, and then take that and put some tangible to-dos and actions around that, so then you can develop your business a little bit more, right? Especially around around pricing, right? Around your profits, right? As I said before, in this day and age right now, it's costing a lot more to run our business. Okay, supply costs have gone up, right? Every time we wake up, something's gone up somewhere along the line. What I see from a lot of businesses out there, that they haven't increased their prices. Okay? And there could be a few reasons around that. The biggest reason is it's fear of losing their customers. Okay? So as soon as you do a SWOT analysis, you then start analysing, your competition, where you're at in regards to pricing with your competition. And if you're on par with your competition and you want to raise your prices, you should do that without even thinking and start adding some value. More value than what your customers do, and then you increase your prices and you'll start standing alone from your competition. Okay? So this is a really, really good tool to get those little bit of the idea of where you're going to be going, where you're going to be. I mean, like if you're increasing your prices, if you think about it right now, you need to probably increase, everybody that I meet needs to increase their prices by between 3 and 5% straight away, or it's affecting their margins. Okay, so that's pretty much a little bit of a benchmark out there if you're thinking of raising your prices. So anything else, Trinity, you want to add to that?
No, that sounds great, Paul. The resources, what Facebook page will they be available for people to be able to access that?
Okay, so if you haven't accessed our Facebook page, I'll bring that up. Choose this one here. Okay, you should all be on it. Oh, hang on, sorry. Get out of there. Okay, so this is a Facebook page. We've put all the next topics coming up as well, so you know what's coming up and you can register for them. You can actually get a couple of the links and send them to other people if they want to register for that as well. Which brings me to another point, is that if you have some real interesting topics that you want us to be discussing, flick us an email. I say us because I normally do this with Kelly, but Kelly's away at the time today, so she gives her apologies. She's overseas at the moment, but either send it to myself or Kelly, and we'll try and put that into the each month and try and get a little bit of a topic around it, so we can give you the best ideas. Also, all the recordings are in there as well for each one that we do. So we have got a little bit of a file section here where I'll start adding all the tools and resources in this as well. So it's a good resource tool that you can go to. If you do need anything outside of what we talk about, let me know and I'll pop it onto the file section in here as well. So yeah, so this week's topic, swings and roundabouts, I've got a few resources and tools to pop in there, so you can check that out. You can download the spreadsheet and do your own SWOT analysis. There's also a little bit of an NLP sort of mindset sort of exercise that you can do before you actually do it, so you get in the right frame of mind as well. Yeah, what else have I got in here? Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, okay, yeah, look, if you just who was that? Yeah, the Facebook page. If you're not on the Facebook page, then you know, I'll send out an invite to the people that I've got a list of people that I need to send an invite out to anyway. But if you're not on the swings and roundabouts and you can't get on there, then just flick me an email at paul@businessstation.com.au or send me a text and I'll fix that up for you. And as always, if you do need some help outside this, just reach out. You know what I mean? Here at Business Station, we're here to help you through the journey of business in any way possible. That's why I got together with Kelly and got this swings and roundabouts together, so we can just start sort of transferring as much knowledge and as much tools and resources to the general business as possible. So, you know, love to help you in the business of journey. It's a passion of not only mine, but everyone in Business Station to really make you succeed in your business. Is there a group where participants can chat and share ideas? Sharon, look, I would probably do that on the Facebook group. Okay, you know, if you start sharing ideas and having a chat on there, you know, we are talking about having a Business Station chat one as well, so we can start having certain chats. But, you know, if you want to have a chat, then reach out to me. I'm quite happy to catch up and have a chat with you anyway. So, you know, with it. We'll join Facebook page tonight as not on the page. Thank you, Deidre. So, yeah, not a problem. I suggest you get onto that page. Also, there is a, if you haven't got onto the Business Station event page, this one here, okay, where we have all the events that are coming up, right? We've just got this together. So we are going to start running a lot more events around this from Swings and Roundabouts as well. So probably get onto our business page and then all the events coming up will be on there as well. We are looking at doing a few more workshops around it, which brings me to the next sort of section. I do have a little bit of an offer for you. I am running a Jumpstart program, which I call a Jumpstart, an online coaching program. Let me just get this for you. Right. Why won't this come up? So I'm just having a bit of difficulties bringing this up. Let me have a look. So there's a QR code there. If you're interested in, it's a 12-week program. I've taken up some real sort of prominent marketing strategies in these 12 weeks for any business to really excel and dominate their market. So, you know, if you're interested in that, scan the QR code, put in a little bit of an expressions of interest or book a call and I can go through that with you. I'm getting some good results from that. What I've done is I've taken, as I said, some really basic fundamentals that I think all businesses need and to really dominate their market. So we start off with things like market dominating position. Right. So what makes you unique? Because if you're not unique and you're not communicating that out there, then I can guarantee that you're competing on price. And if you're competing on price, you're eventually going to go backwards. So we start off with market dominating position, and then we go into how to put put that sort of positioning into a really, really compelling message that you can use in all your platforms, whether that's online, offline. So if you do a lot of networking, meeting a lot of people, becomes part of your elevator pitch. It also becomes part of your ads that you do online, your Google ads, your Facebook ads, but it also can be that compelling message is a good basic fundamental if you do print advertising and radio advertising, even TV advertising. I've got a client down southwest that does TV advertising in the local area, and he's never got results up until he did this program, changed the way that he was doing stuff, and getting a lot more results from his marketing dollars and the time that he's spending as well. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me or just scan the QR code, and I'll get in touch with you and take you through it and see if it is an option for you going forward. Okay, so any questions? No? Has anybody learned a lot from tonight? Everyone going to go away and do a SWOT analysis in the next month. There should be a big yes there.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Good. And look, if you're struggling in any way, please reach out. Yeah, I'll help you. It's just a very, very simple process. Once you do it, it'll start bringing up some really, really good ideas in your business, right? But more than anything, it'll give you a good action plan to work to really, really move forward. Okay, so that pretty much brings us to the end of this. Any other questions or anything else you want to add, Trinity, or anybody in the group? No?
No, thanks, Paul. That's fantastic. I'll pop a couple of links in the chat.
In there. Yeah, I noticed. I saw that. I couldn't get the link up. That's what I was trying to do. So
no, we've got those in there if you want them. I'll also make sure to include that in the follow-up email, so you guys will get a copy of the recording from tonight and the links to all the resources that we've mentioned.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Trinity. Okay, guys. Well, look, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you. I really appreciate your time tonight. My mentor always says to me, we can make money and keep on making more, but once we've used our time, it's gone forever. So I really, really appreciate you spending the last half hour with myself and Trinity. And, I just want to emphasize, if you do need any help or you're stuck in your business anyway, please reach out. Let us get you over that hurdle and start moving forward. So, guys, take care, stay safe, and have a profitable week coming up. I'll catch you on the next session.